Good morning. Today I'll be speaking on the time machine. Time has ruled the past, rules the present, and will rule the future. We have heard much about the passage of time. Time is real, time is money, time is precious, time never stops. We experience good and bad times. Time is what we are supposed to make good use of. Time is what we all wait for. Time and tide waits for none. Time flies. Time never comes back. Time speaks. Time crawls. Time heals. Time can only tell. We are bound by time. We have to wait for our time. Nothing can be achieved before the destined time. How do we perceive time? The human brain is a computer. Time is just like the speed of the computer processor. The faster the speed of the human computer, time runs slower. The slower the speed of the human computer, the faster time runs. The more our senses become active, the slower time passes. When we have sudden deceleration, say in an accident, we vividly remember the happenings in milliseconds of time. Those milliseconds of time are expanded in our brain so that it remains alert and catches up with all the happenings during this period of time. In fact, the limitations of speed with which we travel safely on roads also depends how slow or fast our sensory organs respond to the environment. Time perceptions are different for different ages of human being. There are occasions when time appears to crawl and sometimes run. Good times fly off, whereas bad times linger and don't seem to pass off. You stare at the clock, a minute takes too long to pass. Otherwise, a minute goes without noticing. Time passes fast when we are engaged in work. Time moves slower when we are not engaged in work and the mind is free. Perhaps you would have noticed that while going to a new place, it appears that time passes slowly, whereas on the return journey, it takes much lesser time. Time can appear to move slower for, say, a professional cricketer, where the ball appears to move towards the batsman slowly so that he can time his shot perfectly. Time appears to move slowly when we are faced with a life threatening situation and have only fractions of a second to decide on action. Time appears to fly for example, when we are waiting for an exam, writing an exam, and always find ourselves short of time. Good times fly, bad time lingers. However, the passage of time, I feel, should remain same. Scientists say time started with a big bang. Our universe has been expanding ever since, and so is the progress of time. The arrow of time stipulates that time can only move forward and not backward. Is there an end of time also? And when will it end? It seems our galaxy is constantly moving in an inward spiral towards a black hole and will be swallowed into it sooner or later. That will signify the end of time. Can we go back in time? Hypothetically, yes. If we can move faster than the speed of light, we can. But a gradually increasing entropy of this world suggests otherwise. Also, science says that we cannot travel faster than the speed of light. We have a speed limit. Since we cannot exceed this speed limit, and we follow the arrow of time, which says that we can only move forward into the future and not backwards in time. As we approach the speed of light, say on a space vehicle, several years would have passed on Earth. On return, we would have found ourselves as if woken up from a Rip Van Winkle sleep. Several decades would have passed on Earth, whereas we would have spent only a few days in space. Time moves slowly for a space traveler. So, is time different for all observers? Is time not the same for all? The clock hands clicks slower for an observer in a space vehicle. But what about the passage of time? Is the body clock not sensing the passage of time, which should be the same as one staying on Earth? Or is it also governed with a similar clock in our body as the atomic clock positioned in the space vehicle? This remains a mystery. To me, the passage of time cannot change. The clock could read differently on Earth and in the space vehicle. But what about the passage of time? The passage of time should remain the same as per my reckoning. Thank you.